All right, all right. We are back at the Grit Won't Quit podcast studio, powered by Wingman in beautiful Belmont, New Jersey today. We have a very special guest on. We have Joe. How are you this morning?
I'm great, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. Look at this. We got a mug today from Cruise Planners, which we don't always get gifts, but it's nice when people do bring in a gift. But Joe is in the travel business, and those that think that there's no reason for travel agents anymore will be shocked when Joe tells us his story today. How long have you been in the business, Joe?
14 years.
14 years. What got you into the business?
Well, I was in the corporate world, ironically, in marketing and branding.
All right.
For 20 some odd years, and I did a lot of traveling.
Mm-hmm.
And long story short, my wife and I wanted to have a destination wedding.
Okay.
And we couldn't find anybody that could handle what we wanted. So we did it ourselves, which I don't recommend to anybody, but we did it ourselves.
Where was the wedding?
It was in Myrtle Beach.
Awesome.
And I just couldn't find anybody that could set the hotels up. And
Yep.
So I reached out and grabbed a wedding planner, and she knew a videographer and a photographer, and I grabbed a hotel, and we wanted to get married on the beach, and down there you're not allowed to. It's against the law.
Oh, wow.
So you have to go through a special, through their state park system, which we did. But anyway, I had buses rented, took people. We had over 50 people with us, so we did the whole thing. And somebody said while we were there, "You guys should be travel agents because you did this thing flawless."
Yep.
And we started the agency when we got home.
Really?
14 years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Part-time, I was still working in the corporate world.
Yep.
And it was, my dream was, you know what? If I can beat my corporate salary, I'm out of here.
That's a win.
Like that. So I did. And then guess what happened? COVID.
Oh, my God.
COVID happened shortly after, and
Yep.
There was no business for anybody. Nobody was traveling.
Yep.
Nobody was going to restaurants, right? So
Yeah, that was a crazy time 6 years ago.
it was a nuts time, and a lot of travel agents wound up going out of business.
Yeah. So it was tough because there was nothing.
There's nothing you could do. There was nothing you could do. So I spent a lot of my time just helping people get refunds and get everything settled for after the trip. But we continued to market through all of that so that they would know we were there when this came to an end, which none of us knew when that was going to be.
Sure.
And once it was over, business started to boom, and people started to realize the importance of having somebody like us in their corner.
So like when you go back to COVID, like let's just kind of break it down for the audience. So people were, trips get canceled.
Yep.
The world shuts down. Trips get canceled. Flights get canceled. Hotel rooms. So now you're out there fighting on their behalf.
Exactly.
Getting them, because I know I lost a trip. My wife and I were supposed to go down to Florida, I don't know, a month after COVID started, and we already had airline tickets. And the fight with JetBlue was so hard that I ended up just walking away from it because it was just such a pain in the ass. And I would be on hold for an hour, and then I would say to myself, well, if I'm on hold for 5 hours versus what I can do in billing, what am I doing here? So,
Yeah.
And I kind of just walked away from a couple $100 tickets. No one likes to walk away from anything, but
No,
it just became a mental, kind of thing. So I just kind of walked away. But so now you're fighting for these people that booked through you.
Yeah, we were fighting with them, get their money back from the hotels and their
Yep.
money back from the airlines and money back from the cruise lines. And we were very proactive prior to everything shutting down. And we told all our clients, this doesn't look good. There's a good possibility that everything's going to get shut down.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather see you cancel now
Yep.
before everything shuts down, and let's get your money back.
Sure.
Because I know we're going to be fighting with thousands of others.
Yep.
And let's reschedule this at another time, but let's get your money back.
Sure.
And a lot of my clients listened to me and said, you know what, Joe, let's do
You're right.
that. So we canceled, a lot of them canceled prior to the thing getting shut down, the world getting shut down.
Yep.
And they got their money back.
That's great.
And then I had, of course, others that, I'm going to hold out to the last minute. I had a big group going to Italy and Greece.
Oh,
And they were like, no, we're going to hold out to the last minute. And I have a friend in Italy who's telling me, you don't want to come here.
Yeah.
So
The hard part when you have a group, like when you have a couple or even four, it's easy to get them on board. But when you have a group, you got that one guy who knows everything.
yeah, exactly.
No.
There's always one.
There's always one.
There's
So
always one.
that's funny. So now, so it's COVID. You're doing the refunds. You're getting them the right. So now post COVID, you're coming out, and now people are starting to travel again. People are starting
Oh, yeah.
to get the itch.
Yeah.
So now, how do you generate all your leads in your business, and how does it come through?
Most of our business is either through our social media, because we're on every major platform. Our website is a big draw. We get a lot of people through our website, but a major part of our business is referrals. We have a lot of people that who have traveled with us in the past, pre-COVID, and then right afterwards, who say, "Oh, my aunt's going. My cousin wants to
Yeah,
go. My
sure.
neighbors want to go. Or my Elks Club wants to put a trip together." So that's where most of our business comes in and comes through. And we have a great follow-up system when people come back.
Sure.
Automated emails. Welcome back. How was your trip? Send us a
5-star review.
Yeah, give us
Let
a
us
review.
know.
How was it? How was our service? How was the place you went to? Tell us all about it.
So, listen, you're in the business of recommending hotels and places to go. I mean, you can't be at everyone. So how do you vet out the process so that you don't put somebody, at a place that, is
Yeah,
not
so
very...
I've been to a lot, and I belong to a network of probably 4,000 travel agents all around the country.
Oh, cool.
And we conference call, not all of us obviously, but every week or so we have meetings. And so if somebody goes, "Hey, I was just at this resort in Punta Cana, it was phenomenal, 5 stars." I mean, so now that goes back, that's in our memory bank that this was a great hotel. So when somebody's looking for something, and it also depends on what they're looking for. Is
Sure.
it looking for a honeymoon? Are you looking for a romantic getaway? Are you looking for a family trip? Are you trying to bring your group someplace where
Yep.
it's party time? We know. It's a matter of 14 years experience of dealing with a lot of these hotels. I've done destination weddings, and I have fought with hotels over, what this bride you were told she was going to get and she didn't get. Now now you have to make it up to her. So
And you go to
it's
bat for your clients.
absolutely,
I could tell.
absolutely 100%.
I could tell.
Absolutely 100%.
You're their wingman.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
There you go. Name's on the wall.
Yeah, there you go.
But you are there. I have a feeling you have their
Yeah.
back, that
Yeah.
you push for what they bought.
Yeah, I'll give you a real quick story. I had a lady who called me up. She was crying, and she was recommended to a travel agency and to do her wedding.
Okay.
And when the contract came, they told her that she needs to sign it right away and get this thing booked. And she's like, "Well, I want to see it, Oh, don't worry about it. We're going to handle it, blah, 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 blah." She said, No, I want to see the contract. So she got.
That's fair.
I mean, let me see what I'm
What am
putting
I
out.
signing?
What I'm putting out,
What am I
right?
signing up for here?
So she called me. She was in tears, and I said, "Relax. We'll take care of this." I said, "First of all, what hotel was it? Second of all, who was the contract through? Because when you're doing big groups like that, it goes through like a destination management company." So I said, "Who is it through?" So she gives me the name of the company. I go, "I deal with them every day. They're the best." I said, "Can you get a copy of the contract? You tell her you want your attorney to look at it." So she said, "Okay." So she gets a copy of the contract. She sends it to me. I see all the details.
You're now the attorney.
Now I call the
Joe the
destination.
attorney.
Now I call the destination management company. I go, "Look, I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why, but we need to switch this contract over to our company name. Here's the bride's name. You can call her for permission, but she doesn't want to deal with who she's dealing with."
Yeah, sure.
So they said, "Yeah, no problem. She hasn't signed anything. There's no deposit's been made." I negotiated a better price for her, and we signed the contract. I'm only going to have 10 rooms, Joe. Well, she wound up with 35 rooms. So we wound up adding on to that contract. And then there were some problems with the hotel that they told her they could have a private dressing room, and that when push came to shove, they told her she never reserved it. So I did some nasty email, professionally done, of course, and they turned a ballroom into a studio for her to do her bridal party,
Oh, wow.
to have their hair and makeup
Yeah.
done, and
So it makes sense for the consumer to use somebody like you, because
Right.
you have a little more pull, and again, you're in this network of 4,000 people. No one wants to have a problem
No.
versus dealing with the end consumer. And now, just so the audience knows, how do you bill for your services? How do you get compensated?
You do not pay us a dime. We are paid directly by the cruise lines, the hotels, the airlines. We're paid directly. We don't charge you a dime. There's no hidden fees. There's no charges for that.
So it's
Some
really
travel
a
agents
commission
do.
model.
It is exactly
Commission
Right.
model from the hotels and
Right,
from the cruise lines.
and it's built in. And
They're used to paying a
Exactly.
commission
They're
for
paying
work that's
it.
going to happen, or if they're not using it as a commission, they're going to use it as a marketing.
Right.
Either they're going to do an ad in some online, or
Exactly.
their pay-per-click advertising. So really, you're just essentially a marketing channel for these guys.
Yep. And it's funny because I've had people call me and say, "Oh, I saw this cruise. It was $3,600."
Okay.
And they said, "What's the price?" I said, $3,600. Well, don't we have a better deal through you? I said, "No, you don't understand something. What they pay me is already built into the price. So you're going to pay directly to them $3,600, but you're not getting the benefit of having a travel advisor handle that for you.
Sure.
And it's still not costing you anything, so I can book it for you. But I also have some perks. I can get you some onboard credit. I can get you other things that we offer, through that cruise line." I said, "But the price is the price. There's no,
Yeah.
people, you go price shopping. Go price shopping. People go, 'Oh, I saw that same room at 1,400. Yeah, you're on the deck 2,
Yep.
facing the boiler room.
The hard part is when everything's not a price shop. Like there's value to what
Exactly,
you're getting.
exactly.
And again, you could be on floor 2. You could have the shittiest room. You could have things that you would not notice when you're just price shopping. And when again, everybody's got a budget. Everybody's got
Right.
what they can swing or what they feel comfortable swinging. But like at the same time, you got to look at some of these things, because otherwise you'll end up
Exactly.
like in a worse spot.
Exactly. You have to compare apples to apples too.
Yeah.
I had this the other day with somebody who said, "Oh, I got this room. It was a guarantee cabin." Well, guarantee cabin means you don't get to pick where you're going to be on the ship. It means they pick it. So you don't know if you're going to have
You're guaranteed to be screwed.
Yeah. So I said, if you wanted that, I would have gave you that. But you're traveling with a family. There's five rooms.
Yeah.
I priced it out for you so I could get you all on the same deck. So
Yeah.
you're all near each other. Maybe
Yeah.
not right next door, but you're all in
Sure.
the same area.
Although maybe he wanted that. Maybe.
Maybe he wanted. I don't want to be with the
Family
family.
of 5. Go to deck 2. Let's go. I'll see you for dinner.
That's true.
Maybe in the future I want the guarantee deck. So that's funny. So now, where are like the hot spots? Like, so what are some of the hot spots that you're seeing in 2026 and into your bookings for 27?
Well, cruising has basically almost tripled
Wow.
since COVID. It's amazing the amount of demand. And
Dave and I were
do a
talking
lot.
about cruising this morning and how we're not like huge cruises, because I feel stuck a little bit.
Well, we'll deal with that one second. So
All right.
then the hot spots are, the all-inclusive resorts.
Yep.
Punta Cana, Mexico, Aruba is number one, and people always want to go to Aruba.
I was there 25 years ago. Great time.
I go every year.
Do you?
And I've been there 33 times.
Dang.
I go every year.
Travel with this guy. Guy's going to Aruba every year.
I'm going in October. I have a group of 70 people going in October.
Dina, we could have been in. Tell Matt.
Jamaica,
Yeah.
those are the big hot spots, and they're close to Bahamas,
Yeah.
Bermuda.
You like those all-inclusives where the
Well,
booze
you know what
are
it is.
flowing.
If people wants to eat, they want to eat and drink.
Yeah.
You know,
You're going
and I
on
get a lot of
vacation,
people.
God bless.
Exactly. And then I get a lot of people go, "Well, I don't want an all-inclusive in Aruba because there's so many great restaurants." I said, "You're right, but if we price an all-inclusive against a regular restaurant, a regular hotel without the all-inclusive, you're looking at a couple of $100 difference, and well, you know what? You're getting your drinks for free. You're getting your breakfast for free. You're
Yeah.
getting your lunch for free. Even if you go out to dinner, you're ahead of the game."
I got beat on a Punta Cana trip. It wasn't all inclusive. It was partially inclusive, and like you end up with the wallet out a lot.
I just did a blog article and a video that all inclusive resorts are not created equal.
Yep.
That's why you need to talk to us, because we'll tell you which ones are the better ones, which
Yeah.
is rated better, the service is good.
Rose Hall in Jamaica. I love that place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really
Place
nice.
good.
But going back to what you said
Yeah.
about
The
feeling
travel.
feeling
Yeah.
stuck on a
Yeah,
cruise
the
ship.
cruise, yep.
You know, the cruise ships today are so big.
Mm-hmm.
It's like taking your entire parking lot here
Yep, sure.
and putting it at sea.
Uh-huh.
So you walk down the street, you got a bagel shop, you got
Yep.
a bakery, you got an ice cream parlor, there's a bar and another bar,
Yep.
There's music going on all the time. There is so much to do. And with families with kids, the water slides and the water parks and basketball.
Yeah.
The one I was just on was a brand new ship out of New York for Norwegian Cruise Lines. It was called the Aqua out of New York. And I was there for the inaugural, and then I actually went on it for a cruise, for a sailing.
Sure.
And there's a pickleball court.
Wow.
On there, yeah. So they're all putting pickleball courts.
That's pretty cool.
So there's so much to do. Me, I'm fine with sitting on my balcony with a cocktail.
Yep,
You know,
fair.
I'm good. Well, and when we get off at the port, then we go explore the port a little
Yep.
bit. But
All right, so I got to give it another shot. I'll take another cruise then. Years ago in the city, they used to have a cruise to nowhere.
yeah, no more.
I love those.
Yeah, no
I went
more.
on 3 or 4 of those.
No more of those, or the gambling cruises. No more of those. Maritime law now says that if you're cruising out of a U.S. port, you must stop in a foreign port before you come back into the U.S. So that's why even the Alaska cruises that leave out of Seattle,
Yeah.
they stop on the way back. They stop in Canada, and then they come back into
Okay.
they come back into the U.S. So that's maritime law. So that kind of stopped that cruise to nowhere stuff.
That cruise to nowhere.
That were fun though. They
I'll
were
tell
fun.
you, one night I started early when it first got on, and I had to take a nap for an hour because I was shot.
Yeah.
But I got back out there and kept going. But yeah, that's fun. So what are some of the obstacles in this business? What's some of the grit behind being in the travel? Again, taking a corporate career, quitting to do this, having COVID in the middle. I mean, 14 years in the game, you've been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
It's not like you just started. Again, so you went you went X amount of years before COVID, and now you're back at it. So what are some of the hurdles and obstacles and the grit of quitting a corporate job and getting into this?
Well, being in business for yourself, whether it's travel or
Yeah.
it's the daily stuff that we have to do that nobody sees. The nights that I'm at my office until 8 or 9 o'clock at
Sure.
night, from 7:30 in the morning,
Yep.
because there's things that need to be done.
Yep.
The real thing, the real challenge with us is really getting to know our customers and finding that perfect match.
Yep.
Where they want to go. Because I'm not going to send them someplace that they're not going to enjoy, because then they're going to say, Joe, that place is horrible.
Yeah.
You send me there. So our biggest obstacle is satisfying people.
You fact find like when they call you, like where a good spot would be for them.
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll put them through like a whole interview process, and I'll tell them right up front, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions, because
Yeah.
I want to know what you like to do. How old are the kids? What do they like to do? How old are you? What are you trying to accomplish? It's a romantic getaway? Is it a honeymoon? What would you dream about your honeymoon? What do you want? You want to be on the beach, or don't you care? You want to be, you want to be facing the pool. Do you like excursions? Guys want to go zip lining? So I try to get to know everything I can about them, so
Sure.
that when it comes time to match them with the right place,
Yep.
and then usually I'll give them like 2 or 3 choices and say, these are the top 3 that fit you. I want you to click on them and take a look at the pictures, take a look at the descriptions,
Sure.
and then we'll have a conversation.
Okay.
And I work out of my home.
Okay.
Because after COVID, I wasn't paying rent anymore, so I said, that's it. I'm going back into the house, which is where I have my office anyway. And
But prior to COVID, you had a
I had
office?
an office in Eatontown and an office in Tom's River.
Okay.
And an office in my house. And when COVID hit, I closed both those offices.
Sure.
And said, well, why do I got to go anywhere? 90% of my business is done by Zoom meeting or by phone call and email.
Understood.
But if you live in the area and you want to come in, come on over.
Yeah.
You walk in the front of my house, the first room is an office. It's all set up for an office.
Great.
So if we can interview in person, we can. If we can't, I have clients in Boston, clients in Florida, clients in California.
Sure.
And we'll just do a quick Zoom meeting. What do you want to do? So that's the big obstacle. Besides all the business stuff that you and I know that have to get handled.
Yeah, sure.
The bookkeeping and the social media and.
There's always something.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate in the fact that a little over a year ago, I joined the Cruise Planners franchise system. Prior to joining Cruise Planners, I was on my own.
Okay.
And I have my own IA, my own CLIA number, which is what you need to do bookings. But a year ago, prior to that, I was kind of investigating them, and a year ago I joined them, and they handle everything for us on the back end of our websites. We have a social media platform. We have automated emails that go out to remind people the final payments are due.
Sure.
So this was it took a lot off my plate and let me spend more time servicing the client. So
That's
it was a
great.
big move
So
for
it
me.
made sense.
Yeah, absolutely made sense. So, yeah, it's a franchise, and they've been around a long time.
Yep.
And the team behind it is great.
That's awesome. So, what do you tell the person who's in corporate America right now that kind of hates their job about starting out on their own?
I would absolutely, recommend it to anyone. I caution you to take an internal look at yourself, though. Are you disciplined enough? A lot of times we work for in the corporate world, and we're in a rut. We get in there at 9 o'clock, we leave at 5, we punch out, our paycheck is there. It's a totally different thing. You need that drive and that compassion, and
Just straight up hustle.
exactly, you need to have that, because when you get up in the morning, nobody's paying you, and nobody's telling you what to do, and you need to plan your day. And I did it. I started it part-time while I was
Yep.
still in the corporate world,
Yep.
And my goal was clear. My
Yep.
goal was clear. I'm going to give myself 2 to 3 years to get this thing built up to where I need it, and then I'm going to leave. And that's exactly what happened. It was a little less than 2 years, and I was where I wanted to be. And I put my resignation in, and they were like, "What?"
Were they surprised?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they were. Yeah, I mean, I ran all the social media for a number of large radiology companies.
Yep.
So it was
like-
it was a little bit of a shock, but
I remember when I told my employee that I was quitting, and he was like, "What do you mean?" And I didn't want to tell them right away that I was going out on my own. So I said, "Oh, I'm going to work for a landscape design company. I'm working at a Fortune 10 company at the time." Guy goes, "You're leaving to go to work for a landscape designer doing their marketing?" And I said, "I am." I said, I think it's a good opportunity. And when I look back, I'm like, the guy, probably like, what is he talking about? And then a couple of weeks later, probably saw on LinkedIn that I was starting my own company. At the time, I just wasn't comfortable enough to say, cause
Yeah.
I was starting it on the side, and I was starting it at nights and weekends, and I wouldn't feel comfortable enough to just say I was going out on my own. But the guy probably looked at me like with 6 heads, but I think he probably still follows me on social media, so he knows it worked out.
But the fun part is the doing nights and weekends, right? When you work at a full-time
Yeah.
job, and you're like, "Oh man," it's like
a lot.
It's 1 o'clock
Yeah,
in the
it's a
morning. I
lot.
gotta get out. I gotta go to bed.
Yeah. But if you have the goal in mind, and to your point, if you have the right mindset, this isn't for everybody. You got to be a little twisted to start your own
Absolutely.
business.
You do.
You gotta be a little bit cuckoo. So I mean, when you think about that, as long as you have that desire to win,
Yeah.
and that desire to just out hustle, you'll do it. But again, I think that's why the burnout rate and the failure rate in small business is so high, because most people aren't willing to put in what it takes to make it
Right.
work. And again, you could do all the right things, it doesn't turn into dollars.
No.
You could do all the wrong things, and you can end up making dollars. There's so many factors, and
Yeah.
if you're not adaptable and adjustable and making changes on the fly, you're never going to make it.
A lot of people think that going into business for yourself, you're gonna get rich quick.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that the big success stories, those guys failed 2 or 3 times, and
Oh, yeah.
bankruptcies, and lost houses, lost marriages, and it took them a while to get to where they are. But all they see was he started his business, and now he's he's a very wealthy businessman.
You're right. There's a lot of things behind the scenes that happen that no one sees.
Nobody knows.
And again, families and marriages and a lot of other things that happen.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Well, you've done it 14 years, so you've done something right.
I guess I'm doing something right. Yeah.
What do you think that one thing is that you're doing right that has made the customers happy, that made you successful?
Excellent customer service. And I was just talking to somebody yesterday. Our Google reviews are 5-star.
Good.
I think we have 70 of them already.
Yep, sure.
But everybody says the same thing. Your customer service was great. When I called, you answered the phone. When I had a problem, you picked up. I could speak to you. I'm not talking to a chat bot or a
So
robot.
let's talk about let's just hit on that. So with the world of AI coming around the corner, or here, I mean it's here, right? And everyone, businesses wanting to get rid of people that answer the phone. What's your take on that?
personalized customer service can never be replaced. It can't. It just can't. I mean, when you call up my office, you're stuck in Cancun. Your flight got canceled. You're going to call and talk to an AI receptionist, which is what you're going to get when you book on your own through a website online.
Through one of the big companies.
But when you
Definitely.
call me, you're going to get me, and I'm going to say, well, here's what
Here's what we're gonna do.
here's what we're going to do. And I just had this situation in the last snowstorm. I had two girls that were stuck in Cancun. She called me up. She said, our flight was canceled. I said, the airports are closed. I said, I already called the hotel. Go back there. I got you booked for 2 more nights. Stay there. I'll get in touch with you. And then working with the airline, we finally got them a flight, but it did take 2 days because look at the mess we were in.
Yeah, sure.
And then we got them home. And when she got home, I said, the 2 nights that you paid for at the hotel, because you listened to me and you took travel insurance, you have what's called travel interruption. Well, your trip was interrupted, and you had to pay 2 more nights. Now you're going to file a claim, and you're going to get reimbursed for the 2 nights you put out of your pocket.
Wow.
Done. Happy customer.
Happy customer.
Refers people all the time. And these 2 women take trips 2 or 3 times a year with me.
God bless.
So-
I didn't know about that travel insurance. with
Travel,
that.
we could do a whole podcast on travel insurance. Trust me.
Damn, too bad we're so far into this. Otherwise, I'd ask about it. But all right, so I mean, so you're not looking to turn on AI call service anytime soon.
No, not gonna.
I love
I
it.
do have a chatbot on my website, but if you start chatting with my chatbot, it immediately alerts me that you're in there with a conversation, and I jump in.
I love it.
Of course, unless it's 2:00 in the morning, I'm not going to be there.
Yeah.
You know.
That's great. I think that's interesting. And again, I think from small businesses' point of view, AI's got some. I think I say it every day. AI is a great tool.
Yes.
But it's not right now. I don't think it's ready to take over. I'm not looking to change out my call service. We have a woman that answers our phones from 8:30 to 5 Monday to Friday. You probably spoke to her to book this, Amy.
Yep.
I'm not looking to replace her to get an AI phone, but other people are, and other people are like okay with this. I just don't think I don't think it lends that customer experience that Wingman's looking to.
I agree. I think people need to figure out the best way to harness the power of AI for their business. Like to me, I think AI is my best friend. People say, "Oh, I checked with AI and I checked with Google," and I said, "That's great." What did they tell you? And they tell me, "Okay, great." And well, that's wrong, and that's wrong, and
the worst is the people that just take it at face value, because that same stuff happens to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but that's actually not correct. But there's some people that don't come and ask a professional like you or or I, and then they just go with that information.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
So this was a great conversation. I'm so glad you came on today. I'm so glad
it
we
was a
got to put a
pleasure,
face to a
pleasure.
name. Let people know where they can find you online, on your socials, any way you want to get connected.
So all the social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, it's JBL Travel Group / Cruise Planners, and our website is jbltravelgroup.net, and our phone number is 732-831-5200.
And you'll get Joe.
And you'll get me. You might occasionally get my wife, but you'll get me.
Awesome. Joe, thanks for coming on today.
My
This was a
pleasure.
great chat.
My pleasure.
I really
Great.
appreciate it, and keep doing great things, and I look forward to talking to you soon.
Same here. Take
Thanks.
care.